we wait for Jack, we're never going to start. We'll start. How's it going, folks? Rob here.
And Bianca.
And we're giving you a bit of an update on what's going on with our new property. Being circled by a shark here because there's a treat hiding behind Bianca's back. For when Jack behaves, I'm going to show them what it is. It's a mandarin. Jack loves mandarins. No, not yet. Anyway, that's not why we're here. We're not talking dogs and their treats.
Maybe I'll just peel it for him while we're talking.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, we've bought a property, as you know, up at the Childers area in Queensland, Australia. And we're getting ready to move up there in a couple of weeks' time.
Yes.
Settlement date is the 16th of October. And we've had a bit of a hiccup though, because someone's gone and got a relieving contract for 5 weeks over the moving period.
Starting tomorrow.
2 weeks before the settlement, and then 3 weeks after settlement, Bianca is going to be sequestered into another team at her work. So it's not something she can really have days off of, because it was an emergency sort of relief, wasn't it? Because they don't have a manager or something. Yeah,
the manager and the second in charge both left.
So yes. Anyway, that's beside the point. So we're not too sure what's going on with the move itself, other than I'll be going up there and maybe the son-in-law will be joining me. Not too sure what's going on there. And yeah, he did offer, thanks to Hanu. But yeah, we're not too sure what's happening with the move. But anyway, we went up for a handover of sorts, and that's pretty much why we're doing this video. Give you a little bit more of an idea on what's going on.
I was going to say,
just check out Jack. He's such a good boy.
Sit. Good boy. Look. Good boy. Good boy. Munch.
Yeah, take it away. So there we go. That's Jack, and he's very...
He'll be distracted for all of 2 seconds.
All of 2 seconds, yes. Anyway, so we had a bit of a handover Saturday when we drove up.
Yes.
The three of us went up. Kira saw it for the first time, the property. She was rather impressed, I think.
Yeah, she didn't have anything negative to say, so that was a good sign.
Yep. And it basically means now that the current owners, Beverly and Brian, g'day if you're watching this, they can go on their merry way now, because this is basically the what do they call it? Pre-contract inspection type thing. Or there's another one. You can do the pre-settlement inspection, and that's just to check that, you know, haven't set fire to the house on their way out. Packed up the hoop houses and sheds and thrown them in the back of the truck and nicked off to wherever they're off to, with bits and pieces that should be staying on the property. So Daniel, g'day mate, if you're watching this too, the real estate agent, he said he'd be quite happy to go out there and take a couple of photos for us on settlement day and all the rest. But yeah, we're pretty trusting on that everyone's going to do what they say they're going to do. So yeah, but the other reason we went up was to check out the water and electrical supply, because there's been more than a few properties we've looked at.
Yeah.
And who knows how the water and the plumbing worked. There was just hoses and pipes and...
everywhere.
Yeah. So this time around we got to speak to Brian, who put a lot of it in himself, and yeah, he was telling you about the dam and how that works.
There's no firefighter pump down on the dam, but the irrigation comes all the way through and feeds into 2 small tanks between the 2 sheds. Yep, and that's more for stock water.
And the gardens, when they had them up and running, they haven't had them up and running for a while by the look of it. So.
Yep. So Brian let us know where the pipes are running, so we know not to dig and crack them or dig through them. Yeah,
he ran them outside the fence line of the actual house yard. So if we want to do any fruit trees or gardens in the house yard, we know we're pretty safe.
Yes. Yeah. But I suppose if we want to do anything in that back paddock behind the pig sheds, we're going to have to be careful.
Yeah.
The line from the big rainwater tanks into the house, unfortunately, goes past a large tree, and the roots have kinked it.
Twice, I think Brian said he's had to dig it back up. Yeah.
So that's something we'll have to have a look at.
Yeah, I can see a tractor with an excavator on the back in our future.
Yes.
Yes, once we get everything sorted.
Yes.
So we'll be able to maintain that pipeline, because it's inevitable that tree roots will get in there. It's just a question of when. But the rainwater tanks from the house, they join up with the gutters from the large shed. So those 2 tanks, I think he said, around about 80 mil fills them up. off the two
House
sheds,
and the shed.
which is, yeah, on a good summer's week of rain, that's easily done. They get around about 980 mil of rain from memory in that area, or that many inches on a yearly average. So as long as we're in a fairly wet year, don't talk to me about El Nino, thanks folks. In a fairly wet year, yeah, we should have no problems with house water from those two catchment areas. Plus there's also a bore on the property which we haven't really explored, mainly because Brian fessed up and said they've never run it. Doesn't have a pump down it, so that's something we're going to have to investigate.
He pumped it once and just pumped it straight into the dam.
Just wanted to make sure that the water was still in the bore, basically. They drilled it during a fairly dry period, so they had backup water if their dams ever ran dry, but they didn't. He guesstimated for the stock holding they had that one of the dams, thanks Jack, one of the dams there has enough water from around about 18 months worth for stock for 10 to 20 head. So we're fairly secure water-wise, we think, for the time being, because we're not going to get any stock for the first year, maybe 2 years, like cattle, large number of cattle, that is. So,
maybe some goats up front.
Yeah, maybe some goats. The other thing Brian ran through, was just the way he's wired up the shed. They built the shed and he just showed us just where the different power points were and pointed out a couple of
So many power points.
So many power points.
I was so happy when I saw that.
We're going to have a his and her side of the shed. Bianca's probably going to get a lathe or something for timber. She's always been interested in that, and set up a couple of drill presses and bits and pieces. I might get a small metal lathe, we'll wait and see. Just so we can do little projects on the farm without having to outsource them. Plus, you know, I might follow Hucho's footsteps and do some 3D printing, and there's another smaller storage shed that we can do that in, and also set that up with all the bits and stores for the shop and that sort of thing.
Yep.
Maybe even a fish room for the aquaponics out the back into the hoop houses. All these things we've got to look into. Yeah, but anyway, this is just more of a bit of a, just to let you know that we're still here. We're not abandoning this channel. I think we gave them a bit of an update on what we were taking last video, plant-wise, but we're packing up underneath the house very slowly, so that's got to go.
We need to do a bit of prep for Kira. We've already covered the backyard in hay.
Yeah, Bianca knocked that off last week. I got a bit of a lung condition with mould. We don't want to really push at this point in time, so Bianca rolled those out.
I need you healthy.
Yeah, she needs me healthy. Seeing as I'll be working while someone's living in air conditioning. But anyway, before we go, enough of that, before I get in trouble, we really do need to thank a few people.
Yes.
So to begin with, we need to thank our very good friends here locally, Nicole and Hamish. They've been sending us links to different properties nearby, hoping we'd find someone somewhere nearby, but unfortunately that didn't happen. No, we're about 4.5 hours away from their place, but yeah, hopefully they'll come up and visit us, and we'd like to come down and stay with them. They've got some spare rooms that we could probably kip in and have a decent night at their place. Yeah, around the fire. Darren, thank you very much, Darren. He's been a supporter of the channel for many years, and he lives fairly local to the area. He's actually offered us a couple of kids in a couple of months' time for the start of our little goat herd. Thank you very much, mate.
Queensland farmer.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. He's helped us out with a lot of information, which was really helpful when we were looking at properties and all the tick-off lists and the things to look for, which, some very much escaped me. So thank you very much. That was awesome. Yep.
Mark from Facebook, thank you very much, mate. He just sent me a load of books and Backyard Aquaponics magazines, videos, some Salatin bits and pieces. That's Joel Salatin. So blown away. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that, mate. They came out of left field, and there's loads of reading in there for both of us to get through. Very much appreciated. And the dung beetle book. I'm very much into dung beetles and all things composting, so that will come in handy for sure. Also, William, who is another local up there. I forgot to mention before, Queensland farmer is fairly local. He's just a little bit south and west from where we bought. And Darren is also south and east from where we bought. And Will, who is a supporter of the channel over the years at different times. Thank you very much for coming into the hangout the other week and sending us some links that are going to be useful in the local area. And we'll probably hook up with him at some point in time as well with Queensland Farmer and Darren as well. and maybe share some produce or animals or something along the lines down the track. All the supporters out there who have been coming to the hangout, the Davids, the Michaels, Brian, and yeah, everyone who's been coming along. Really do appreciate the support, hanging out with you guys, giving us your tips and pointers along the way. We might get Brian over here to the right side of Australia at some point to give us some butchering skills, give us a couple of lessons. That'd be fantastic. And also, yeah.
Oh, and Alison.
Alison, yes.
For all the boxes.
All the boxes. They will come in handy.
Yes,
I've already filled half of them with books.
Yes, and we have to get around and pick up some more.
So thank you very much for that. We really do appreciate it. And hopefully some child labour as well at some point when the move comes. Might take advantage of a couple of lads and their strong backs. Might be able to work something out there. So I know there is loads of other people who I've spoken to on YouTube, supporters and Facebook who have helped us as well.
Yes.
You know who you are. Thank you very much for the PVC pipes, the filters, everything along those lines. Just the support, the words of encouragement, and yeah, we really do appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
So I think we should probably wrap it up there, though. It may be another week or two before you see anything to do with the farm, obviously, because we won't be there for a couple of weeks. Well, hopefully the photos you see flash across the screen help make a little bit more sense about what we've been talking about. So I don't think I've shared all of those before. And thank you to Daniel for letting me use them, even though he probably doesn't know until he sees this, if he sees this. So yeah, there we go. Pretty much we'll leave it there. Yes. Thanks for coming along, folks. And we'll catch you next video.
Yes.
Cheers all. Catch ya.
Bye.